been eating a turkey, cheese, mayonnaise, and tomato sandwich. I'm gonna tell you a quick story about this young girl. Her name was Tamara King. She was around the age of 12, and she was dying of AIDS. She had she was born with it. She'd been having it since birth. She'd been having it through birth. I mean, ever since birth through her mother. Her mother had passed away from it, and her father is unknown. And her grandmother was trying to raise her, but had a tough time raising her because Tamara hung out in the streets. She got in trouble. Um, she was just out there. She was a wild child. So her grandmother had sent her away to be in foster care. And at school she got treated horrible. Like the other kids, they knew about her illness and everything. They treated her horrible. Like in the lunchroom, nobody didn't want to sit next to her or anything, except for this one guy. And this guy's name was Ralph, but his full name was Raphael. And he was the only one that was, not scared to, come near her and everything. And she fitted in more with the kids that didn't go to school, the kids that just hung out on the streets and did things that they had no business doing. Like Tamara just felt better around those types of crowds. And Raphael kind of knew how Tamara felt, aka Tamar. He knew how she felt, like about being treated as an outcast at school because he was getting made fun of by some boys who was on the football team and stuff. They would tease him for how he talked and how he walked it and everything. Like he was accused of being gay. He just had like a certain twang about himself, and like they just teased him about how he acted. Except for Tamara, Tamara liked to spark a conversation with him. Like she really enjoyed talking to someone like Raphael because she just feels like that he can understand every word that came out of her mouth. And I'm also eating an ice cream that I made myself with caramel. It's vanilla ice cream with caramel and maraschino cherry on top. But back to the story. Um, yeah, Ralph became really close friends with Tamara. And even though she was on meds, Tamara was getting sicker and sicker by the day. And she ended up developing, AIDS related lymphoma and had to get on treatment immediately. And also in Ralph's family, so Ralph kind of understand what Tamara was going through because he had an uncle who was, sick the whole time in a hospital. It was his mama's brother, and they put it as cancer, but the whole time the brother was dying of the three-letter word. And Ralph also had brothers and sisters. He had a lot of brothers and sisters. I'll say about like he had about like eight brothers and three sisters, but he mostly hung around his sisters. And his brothers would tease him the same way like the boys at the school. They would tease him for how he talked it and how he walked it and everything, accusing him of being, like I had said before. But the rumors about Raphael being gay, it all had came from this one boy who had started all the whole picking and laughing and teasing about Raphael. And this guy's name was Carter Ward Jones. He absolutely wanted to just see everyone tease Raphael. Like he gave Raphael hell every single day. And there was a teacher that had not too long started working at the school. His name was Mr. Washington. Um, Raphael had went to his house for tutoring. Well, this teacher had ended up losing his job, and the reason why because lies lies had started getting passed around about him and Raphael. Those lies had came from Corduroy, and it was passed on, from one student to another student. It was just a rumor, a big old fat lie that was passed around and had got Mr. Washington fired. And not too long after losing his uncle ended up passing away from the AIDS-related cancer. Raphael one day just got tired of Corduroy. He ended up getting into it with Corduroy in the classroom, and he ended up fighting him. He ended up picking up this textbook, swinging the textbook right at Corduroy's face, and just whacking her with this textbook multiple times. And it took like a lot of adults to pull him off of Corduroy. Raphael had unleashed it something that he'd been wanting to unleash on Corduroy for a while. But Corduroy ended up getting revenge. It was around when they wasn't in school. He ended up getting revenge. Him and some other boys ended up catching Raphael by himself on one night. And they was, calling themselves jumping. But police had came rolling up. Wee wee. The police came rolling up, and the beating had stopped it. And Raphael wasn't injured too bad. He just had his like the corner of his eye was bleeding. And as for Tamara, she was dying. She was, looking different, and she had wanted to go, Raphael and some more friends of hers from off of the streets. She had wanted them to go with her, like to go shopping, like at a mall. And at this mall, she ended up like getting herself like some outfits. It was like some wigs that she had bought, and like makeup and all different things like that to fix herself up. Like she liked to do dress up and stuff. She always liked to do that ever since she was younger. And at her house, she ended up taking, Raphael. She ended up inviting Raphael and some of her friends off of the streets at her home. And she would dress up in front of them, act like, do like role plays and stuff, or act like actresses from out of movies and stuff like that. That's what Tamara liked to do. And then when the rest of her friends had left away, it was just her and Raphael was left there. And then she it was like this record player that her grandmother had like in the living room area. This record player in the living room area. She ended up turning that on to like some old music, and she wanted Raphael to dance with her. And the two of them had danced it, and she was asking him like, did she still look that beautiful? Because sometimes she don't feel beautiful, she feels ugly, but she looked it different day by day. And Raphael would tell her like, oh, you're beautiful, don't worry about what other people say and all that stuff. He was just filling her up with sweet words. Tamara ended up breaking down crying, while while wrapped it up in Raphael's arms. But he was just comforting her and letting her know that like, don't worry, you're gonna live forever. Like, you have nothing to worry about. And I'm right here with you. I'm gonna always be by your side. That's what he was letting her know. And when I mean that, when she was in her grandmother's house, playing the music on the record player, I meant that it was like a foster grandmother to her, not her real grandmother. But she was in Raphael's arms. The two of them was like dancing in the middle of the floor. But about a month later, Tamara ended up dying from the AIDS-related lymphoma. And yes, she was just 12 years old. Raphael, along with some of her other friends from off of the streets, they was sad about it. Her foster family had set it up her funeral arrangements, and she was buried in her favorite color, which was like a tangerine orange color, and that's what this story is called, Tangerine. And as with Raphael, he wasn't teased anymore, and he kept Tamara's Tamara's memory alive by writing a poem for English class, and it was a poem that was dedicated to her that he had also named Tangerine. And ate all the ice cream, and I hope you like and subscribe and have a great night, and God bless you all.